I need to talk about this theatrical sadness narcissists get into. It's so contradictive, really. They want to show people that they have feelings, that they care. I don't know what it goes into their minds, but or they want to make themselves convince themselves that they have feelings, or they can be sad. It's well, probably talked about this in another video. One day I went to my mother's house and I found her sitting at the table with a picture, crying her eyes out, with a picture of a little boy who died. She was like, "This was my cousin, and he tragically died." And I'm like, "Never heard of this cousin. Who is he? Tell me about him," and all that. "Oh, you don't know him. He died before." I don't know how many years. It was 6-7 years before she was born. He died before she was born. And she was laughing. She was crying. Sorry, I'm laughing. She was crying about it, like she lost a childhood friend or a brother and sister. I don't know. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? You're crying for somebody you haven't even met?" "Yes, he died so tragically, and his parents went through hell, and I don't know what, and he was a little favorite." And it was like she was going through. Oh, now I realize. It was like she was copying, or she was practicing. Having seen probably an uncle and aunt, the parents of this child, or even her father or mother who were uncles and aunts to this child. It was like she was practicing, copying how they reacted. Because, I mean, it's not normal for anybody to cry if somebody they don't even know, they haven't met, suddenly, out of the blue, like this. And we're talking about a woman, okay, who talks about the refugees, the Syrian refugees, like these animals. These animals have to go back. What do these animals want in our country, kind of like this. And we're talking about this woman, the same woman. Suddenly, poor child, he fell under the tram, he slid under the tram, and the tram drove over him, and it's tragic. I'm like, Anyway, so yesterday she came over she was supposed to come and visit me, to come and see how we made the kitchen. Okay, we're making a kitchen because there's no money, out of all the leftovers cupboards we found around, because we keep stuff. We have a big storeroom, and we keep a lot of things that can be used. Since I'm an artist and I can redo everything, it's and the space to keep it, we keep things. Anyway, so out of all these old cupboards we made a kitchen. And she was surprised to hear that we made a kitchen that is very practical out of leftover cupboards, bits and pieces, kitchen cupboards. So she wanted to see them. Well, she did come, but she didn't look at all of the kitchen. She completely ignored the kitchen, actually. She put one foot in, and I didn't see her eyes go around and look and see. She didn't even see the fig tree that I've planted in the courtyard of the house. That was not there last year. I planted a little shoot of a fig tree, and it became a 3-meter tree this year. It's like incredibly big, and it looks really nice there. Anybody would see it and like, "Oh, this is nice, a tree in your courtyard," but no, she didn't realize. She didn't even look at the tree. But she brought me her cleaning lady. Her cleaning lady being, as I can predict, my favorite person. You know, the new my mother's new ideal. I won't say that word. I could not say it. You know how they idealize a person and they put you down by showing this person so good, she's so nice, or he, it's a he or she, depends on the year, or who they've chosen, who they picked, and they're so nice, and then they will tell you that, oh, she cleans potatoes better than anybody. Maybe that was a title she gave you for many years, but because she wants to bring you down now, she will tell you that this woman cleans potatoes better than anybody. Not better than you now, because she's my favorite little person. So this kind of. So I think this woman now, the cleaning lady, is her new, since the previous one has left. The previous star has left. Now I think this woman is. And I'm saying I think because on the phone calls, I've never met this woman. She started working at my mother's since November, December. And I mean, she goes twice a month, so it's not many times. But every time she goes me on the phone call, she's telling me, and this woman is coming to clean my house. I'm so happy to see her. She's the only person I can talk to, and I don't know what. So I understood that this woman is going to is going to be the one she's going to use, to hit us with. Ding, ding. So it's easier to hit me. I mean, the hitting will be more successful and more painful if I know the lady, because if I don't know who she's talking about, who gives a shit, you can be talking about anybody. She knows very well that it's better to put us in contact, to make us like each other. Because this is what happens every time, and as soon as we like each other, she's going to make us hate each other. It's a little game we play in my family. And so she brings that woman over without warning me, and at the beginning I was kind of surprised, every time I see a new person, I'm like, around my mother, I'm like, but from her face, everything, she's very friendly. She started talking and all that. She seems like a very decent person. Start talking straight away about plants and everything. She was there not even 5 minutes, and then my mother starts. And you know what? 3 years ago, like today, she lost her husband. Her husband died out of the blue, just suddenly from a heart attack. And he was such a good man. I mean, my mother doesn't know the guy, okay? She just met the cleaning lady this year. The man she doesn't know for sure. She never met him. But anyway, and she showed me a picture of him, and I feel like I've known him forever. And he died 3 years ago, didn't he? I mean, for sure. They talked about it. The cleaning lady just came back from my mother's house because she went to clean there for 4 hours. And for sure the woman told her, today's a difficult day because I lost my husband, or something like that anyway. So this is how my mother knows. But you've talked about it. I mean, it's a painful thing to talk about. Let it go. Why do you engage me in this conversation? Why do you remind this poor woman of the same thing? Again, she's talking about plants and something. She's got her mind away from her husband. And you just bring it back in? And you remind her again that her husband died 3 years ago, like she didn't know? I mean, and you're telling me, who I don't even know the woman, I don't know the guy. How much can I care? I mean, how important can it be for me to learn that she lost her husband 3 years ago? What do you want me to do about it? What do you want me to say anyway 3 years later? And it's not something you talk about with other people like it's news. You know what? She bought a nice dress. There's a new shop that opened down the road. They've got nice clothes and a good price, just learn. Of course it's not something like that. It's not this kind of conversation. My hair's going all over the place. Anyway, so, and And when she tells me he died 3 years ago, and I see my mum, I'm like, you know, like a dog, the face of the dog when they listen to weird noise and they go like that. I'm like, she starts crying. Her husband died 3 years ago, like today, suddenly out of the blue. And in front of the lady, I couldn't tell her anything because the lady started crying too. Of course, it's normal. It's her husband. She started crying too. It just reminded her again that she lost her husband. But why was my mother crying? I mean, was she exercising again? How to show sadness? How to feel sad? Was she trying to convince the woman that she has compassion for her and she feels her pain? You know, you want to grab that woman and tell her, you know, she's pretending. She is pretending. She tells her children, fuck off, whore. She tells her children that she will squash them. She tells her children that they are bitches and stupid and useless. She can't cry about, she can't be shedding real tears about your husband. She doesn't know your husband, dear. The woman is cuckoo. Oh, God. I don't know how many times she's done that thing, that theatrical sadness thing. Probably many times in my life, but I never realized, I never thought. I remember the first time I thought it was strange when I saw her cry about the little boy, the nephew or cousin, whatever it was. Oh yeah, and the second time she phoned me fucking, there were bombs all over the place, there were people being killed and everything, and she was like, on the phone, she phoned me to tell me the story. There's a little girl in Greece that disappeared, and then they found her in a garbage, I think, cut up or something like that, 4-year-old girl, and they were looking for who the killer might be, and finally ended up it was the parents that did it. And it was a big story in Greece. I think it was this winter, and my mother phoned me up to tell me, did you hear that? Did you hear what happened to this poor little girl? And really crying. And I was like, Mom, you have 8 grandchildren, of which you don't know if they're getting an operation or if they're sick or whatever, You don't know anything about them. You don't give a shit about them. And you're gonna cry for some news you saw on television, for some little girl that you saw. It's sad, it's awful, it's horrific. But the need to make it look so personal, so personal. Are you kidding me? I bet they all do that. I bet they all play that game. Theatrical sadness. I mean, I've heard about how they use their own child's disease or illness or death to pretend that they are heartbroken. They're like very sad about and they're devastated about what's happening and all that when they don't give a shit at all. This, I have heard many stories like that. But theatrical sadness. What else can we call it? I mean, there are just big actors, aren't they? Crazy making. Bye.